All right, let's see. Is that working? Oh, it looks like it's working. Is that the same as this one? Yeah, we'll see. So, how's everybody doing? It's been a little while. I guess about 3 weeks. Was it 4 whole weeks? I think 3 weeks. I think I've missed two of these. So there was the one I was traveling, and then last week I just too burned out. But can you all hear me? How's everybody's Sunday going? Finishing the cupboards. So the ceiling's done. You're not on a ladder today, or is it still ladder time because of the cupboard? Oh, those little tabs. Yeah, I know what you mean. I uh, I just moved. Um, it's been pretty hectic. Without going too far into it, the place I've been in for the last 2 years had a constant leaking problem from above. Water coming through into the middle of my living room over and over and over and over again, and every time they thought they fixed it, it wasn't fixed. And finally had enough and had to leave. And it's been a fun nightmare for the last couple weeks. But I found a place. I moved most of my stuff. I still have a little bit left, and yeah, then get to put it all back together. So and figure and get back into the normal rhythm of things. So it's been it's been hectic. Um, just lots and lots and lots of lifting boxes. But thankfully, the museum was all moved out of my house well in advance of all that. So that's a positive. So didn't have to move any of this stuff. It's all down here. So that was nice. Speaking of, we did actually get an official lease for the museum office. I was a little worried about that. It was kind of a handshake, kind of a startup, but got an actual lease in place, so we're good there. And I pulled out a box that you can see it. Well, I guess you can see it down there. I pulled out a box of unknown. We're gonna see what's in there. I'm still trying to track down a Saudi Arabian ration that I know I have. It's in one of these boxes somewhere, so would still love to come across that and get that properly categorized among the international stuff. And then in between last stream and this stream, I've been working on acquiring something really, really, really insanely special that just just a just sent over the payment this afternoon after a lot of back and forth, and I'll hopefully be able to share that with you. Maybe not next week, but hopefully by the week after. It depends on how fast it gets here. And so far, the whole back and forth on this has been pretty slow, but I'm not rushing. I'm not rushing, and I think when you guys see it, you'll know why. I'm just so excited. I'll give you a hint. It's space related. It's definitely space related, and it's very specific. So I'm so excited. So how's everybody else been? I see Gail, Kaylin. Oh, Kaylin, I saw you had the German ration review. I've got to watch that and get caught up. I saw you posted that in the Discord channel too. So I definitely got to catch that tonight if I get a little bit of time. We'll see. It's been just go until you fall asleep and get up and do it again for the last couple weeks. Yeah, I definitely want to check that out. So I'll check. I'll look for your email and I'll get back to you. JW, howdy, Jeremiah, Gunner, welcome. Yeah, Old Smokey's streaming tonight after mine, right? I think he was saying something about that to me. I didn't get a chance to get back to anybody today. It's been crazy, and then I have no internet at the new house just yet. I should have it tonight when I go back. We'll see. It was same company, just moving equipment to the new place, and I know they turned it off at the old place because I lost internet before the move. So we'll see. Hopefully it all just turns back on. Internet at the office is good, so no problems there. Okay, I'll get you that, Kaylin. I'll make sure I get you that ASAP. How much is 1942 canteen and canteen cup worth? Hmm. Ah. So the mess kit stuff, there's a lot of them. They made millions of them. Or at least they made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of them. And I know they do turn up in like bulk surplus. The stamped 1942 stuff, the 1944 stuff. The 1918 stuff and 1916 stuff shows up pretty often too, but they're definitely a step up. I don't know that I'd want to throw anything definite, but maybe like for the canteen and the canteen cup, somewhere in the realm of like $30 to $45, maybe $50. I think probably closer to 30. It's been a while since I bought one. Oh, you got one for 35. Yeah, I mean, if that includes postage and everything, you did great. If it's in good shop or good shape, you probably. Oh, okay, and it came with a Nam era cover. I mean, it's all. Are you going to use it for camping or anything? I would say that'd be a great purpose for it. Those things hold up really well. What's in my pocket? Oh, moving detritus in my pockets. All right, nothing important. So let's see. Let's see what's in this box. This is going to be a interesting one today. I haven't looked in here since Bozeman, so we've got all kinds of possibilities. This was one that I think was just personal collection stuff, but at this point, I'm likely not eating most of it. One for dietary reasons, and two for having it sit for a little while. Maybe not quite as good anymore, but it could end up museum trade fodder. Could end up stuff the museum needs exhibit-wise. Could be a lot of nonsense. So this is can't tell if it's just the remnants, but it's a C or PR1M. This was one that was mangled, if I recall, and this is what we survived. This is what survived and was cleaned out of it. So let's see. That's not sure if you guys can see too well there. So let's see. Try to get a little less reflection on it. Just oh yeah, that chocolate bar is just powder in there. So this one was one that was pretty much shot, but some of the parts might make a decent display. This is most of a Russian ration. Interesting. Maybe some of this stuff was out on display. The tag, that probably came from one of the shows. That might be from Bob, actually. Not sure. French bag, Spanish bag. Interesting. I guess I'm actually holding them down off to the side. So we got just an army meal bag. Yeah, maple pork patty MREs and IMPs are still, I think, my favorite. I'm a pretty big fan of those in general. That little maple syrup flavor really kicks them in. I got recently a reproduction mess kit from, or not mess kit, field. Oh, I can't recall exactly what it was called now. I mean, it was maybe I got it a couple years ago, but it was like Boer War era, lead-lined, like ration tin, but definitely sold as reproduction, not claiming to be otherwise. A lamb mulligatawny, Arctic field ration, and then we had a big old Russian tray ration. Not too old, actually. This is 2000 era, I think. This is 2014. Best Buy 2015. All right. I have this same style from 1992. Pop that over there. See what we see. From the 1 to 9 era, so slightly later first strike ration. Complete. Ooh. Croatian. I don't even recall getting this. Spanish Lunch A5. And there are a lot of Russian rations in this basement right now. We got a menu 1. I want to say 2015, 2014. All right, checking in on chat. Let's see. Hey, Old Smoky, welcome. Yeah, just let me know whenever you're ready to do yours. I'll probably be wrapping up before 7, but if I'm running over and you're getting ready to start, just let me know. I could certainly cut short this week. It's been a long week. I don't know how many hundreds of boxes I moved, but Nick, who you guys met on the stream the last time 3 weeks ago, he's been a trooper. Not just helping with everything here, but with my move. It's been nuts, and he's been fantastic. So he's taking a day off today, or else he'd be here, building boxes and doing more of this, I'm sure. Ooh, this one's I think it's that Spanish that we had the label for. Looks like a breakfast, because we got the pangeleta, or however, pangeleta. Well, we got 2 of those, and a stove. Maybe this is just a box of breads that I stuck in here. That might be the case. 2 big things of bread. Till 8, gotcha. Yeah, new place is gonna take some getting used to, Smokey. It's big. I like that about it, but I got some things I gotta get resolved there already. At least it's not cascading water through the ceiling, so can't beat that. We got Italian Armed Forces, made in 2010, Best Buy 2012. That's a shame. I should have eaten that when I had the chance. Let's see. There we go. That's a big one. Wait, which one said Desayuno? Oh, this one, these both say lunch, but you meant the, or did you say if? You said if. Oh, okay, if. Got it. pretty sure this wasn't actually the ration. Let's see. Lunch B3. Now that would have been like probably squid and ink or something like that, knowing these. Ooh. Alright, well this is no good, potentially. Oh, these are all those civilian Spanish rations. Yeah, these are probably all rough by now. So we had a couple of these things. Well, this one's leaking, so let's take a look inside. Let's switch this back to the main. Let's see what we see in here. Tell if I left something. No. Doesn't let go. Almost feels glued in there, but no, it's not. Other than by whatever this is that went potentially bad right there. Though I'm only seeing whatever it is on the outside. It seems like. There's a little. Oh no, there's something throughout. There's something definitely in throughout here. Oh, there's the telltale sign. Whatever that candy was, it was liquid at some temperature along the way. Oh, brown cane sugar. That's nice. You don't really run into that much. That looks good. Looks like coffee. Little milk-filled cookies. Alright. There's some of whatever this is down in there. Some beef spread. A can of garbanzo beans. Lots and lots of these big old things of crackers. Fish pate, I think. A bunch of pate. Yeah, these candies, whatever they were, they just migrated out of their wrappers. You know, they're just empty. I'm surprised it doesn't look a lot worse in here, but it eventually made its way down. You can almost, yeah, you can see down in here to the bottom, along the bottom of the box is where it all kind of collected. Mostly along these packets. I mean, it looks pretty edible, I would say. A lot of this stuff. I mean, certainly, you know, the crackers look totally fine. You know, the candy glue hasn't gotten inside them specifically. I got 6 things of crackers. going to try some of this candy glue. Let's see. All right. So there's a fairly large chunk that had solidified on a wrapper, so it's very clean looking. I'm going to go ahead and eat it. It's like a fruity hard candy, like a Jolly Rancher, but liquid. I mean, that's one way to save these, right? Try and get as much of that out of there as I can. It's for science. It's for science. What are these, half and halves? They are half and half. And those aren't the culprit. They're fine. These are like peach jelly, I'm assuming. No, no separation on those. Yeah, these were like 2015, 2014. They showed up on eBay, and I want to say Bob and I reached out to the guy that, or I reached out on behalf of me and Bob and picked up a whole bunch of these, just to see what they were. But I'm pretty sure they were sold as civilian. Special reinforcement for cold weather. This one, and then. Oh, that one's stuck to the bottom. Yeah, these, I think they all potentially suffered the same. Ooh, this one feels extremely light. Special reinforcement for cold weather. Like, these don't feel like the same thing at all. These feel, like this one on my right, your left is at least 3 times heavier than this thing. Well, that's definitely a shame. I need to see what all survived in this one. You know, overall, luck's been pretty good throughout the collection. Everything we've pulled out, there's only been a handful of things that have had damage over time. And these being, you know, probably non-military, just off-the-shelf stuff. You know, that's the kind of thing that's going to happen. Is they're gonna have something in there that's not really well thought out for long-term storage. You know, these had a Best Buy date of March 2019, so they were supposed to be good for a while. You know, they're supposed to be good for another couple. I mean, not for another couple of years. They were supposed to be good for 5 or 6 years. But yeah, whoever picked these, you know, these candies. Oh, here we go. They are not in any way ready for prime time. I mean, it's just when I say the wrappers are just preserved empty. Their contents just slowly moved out. You know, they're like, this is just an empty shell with a little bit, you know, on one side of the candy left in there. I think I can take care of most of this with some paper towels and probably still keep these as a good example of, you know, what civilian extensions to the rations, you know, there may have been. I'd like to get some more history on these eventually, but let's see. Refresh chat, just make sure. Well, hey, Fordman. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, this one, everything else in here looks pretty good. We've got, switch this back around. All right, we've got these strawberry jam, more of these little cookies with milk center, more cocoa, more coffee. This one has some chocolate bars. They seem to have been just fine. More of that cane sugar. Oh, I broke the package on that. Unfortunately, there. We'll take a little taste test of that. Nothing wrong. Welcome back. Alright, so this one had a couple of these candies in there. Here's another. It had its menu just a little bit gunked up, but well, I don't know. It does say Defense Force reinforcement for. Well, it doesn't have the same kind of Fuerzas Armadas. Yeah, it doesn't have the official seal or anything like that. Distributor Alonso Versus. Let's see what these boxes said on them in terms of distributor. No real indication. I'm assuming this mountain kind of looks like the MRE mountain logo, right? Am I crazy there? Maybe these were made for them. But they appear to just be off-the-shelf, groceries. Nothing in here, that would have been made specifically for the military, that I can tell. Best Buy 2019. But, nothing at all. No bulging, no anything with these. These seem fine. Here we've got calamar in American salsa. Well, in salsa Americana. Let's see what on the manifest for this, what that says. This came with Italian pasta salad and tuna, chickpeas and chorizo. Let's see. Tuna and olive oil, Americana squid sauce. Okay, that's what that is. 2 cans of pate, 4 tablets of milk chocolate and cookies. 4 tablets? I assume that's maybe what that is. Oh, no, there's actual candy bars in there. All right. 4 tubs of peach jam, 6 packs of crackers biscuits, 6 packets of sugar candy, 1 package of grain and wheat and rice. 4 tubs of cream. Oh, okay, the half and half stuff. 3 sachets of soluble coffee. 3 tea infusion. That's just tea, I guess. These 3 tea. Oh, I definitely got to get something to start cleaning these up. 6 candies, strawberry, 20 grams. 1 envelope of soluble chocolate. That's the cocoa. 1 box of matches with 40 matches, and 1 information note. So, matches. You know, at some point I got to get a bunch of these together. I'm sure somebody has, but I like a lot of the European countries still have the actual wooden matches in their rations, and you know, you get some local ration or some local match pack brand. This is Swedish match, huh? But yeah, just neat little extras. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go grab some good wet paper towels and some dry paper towels so I can take a stab at cleaning the candy off the rest of these. More. The other thing I could have been doing tonight if we weren't doing this walk through the past and this little cleanup was just build shelves. So I figured this might be a little better. I can save shelf building for you know, for another time when there's you know, when I'm here for the whole day before the stream. But today there's still too much move stuff going on. Still way too much of that. You know, I'm in that fun in-between state where you wake up in the new house and you know, you go to take a shower and you can't remember which box has the towels, or you know, that it's somewhere. You know it's somewhere. And then going down to the kitchen and realize, oh yeah, I can't make coffee. Left part of the coffee maker behind. Have to go get that in the next few days. You know, piece by piece, it'll get back to normal, I'm sure. But for right now, everything's still a little crazy. Slowly just gonna wet this back and forth. You know, don't want to use any like real amount of water or anything. Just slowly peeling off the layer of candy. Pretty much just dissolving it. You know, and the sugar just moved through path of least resistance, so it just ended up wherever it ended up. In this case, tucked into the, just realized I've been doing all that above the camera like an idiot. Tucked into this little section here was quite a bit of it. Just going to try and get as much as I can. And there's only 3 of these, so we'll try and get them all cleaned up and then take the candy wrappers out and put the rest back. And I don't know, might try and eat one of these. I haven't had many rations in the last couple of years. They're always a treat when I do. There's a whole big piece of it down here. Sorry I'm doing that again. This whole chunk right here actually can come right out. Just sit the whole thing with a dry paper towel, make sure I don't leave anything sticky anywhere. That one's pretty much fine. Alright, 1 down, 5 to go. Hopefully that was a pretty bad one. Use coffee. Use. Now this is a paper label. This is probably going to just get ruined. Let's see. Actually, going pretty good there. Got like just this little glob hanging off the end there. Still sticky enough. Switch to a fresh damp paper towel. Let's see now. Okay, I got it. That's one of those things. There's another one that's got all kinds of crap. Seems to really want to hide up in that edge. See, Gail's saying, general question for everybody in here. She's putting together a special Christmas gift for her sister and niece. Got a reproduction canteen and mess kit. Planning to get reproduction K ration for each of them. Anything missing? Be a reproduction D ration to go as a dessert. 2 of those clean. We got this one. It's probably going to be a tough one, but yeah, let's see. It's threatening to stay together, so let's just start by dampening both. Dampening, making damp. Just going to kind of use a sawing motion with the paper towel under the cocoa. That's barely doing anything there. Actually, I don't know. Big chunk of sugar right here. Let that be a lesson to ration makers everywhere. Hard candies, come on. Hard candies by themselves, loose tossed into your ration, not a great idea. Quite a bit. Definitely going to be some tearing on one or the other, but yeah, should still be displayable. There we go. Dry that up. Yeah, good question, Gunner. I know there were a few folks over the years. There was Tim something or other. I can't think of his name now. Had a website where you could order repros, and he'd make them one by one. But that's probably not still the source. Hogan. Oh, okay. T. Hogan. That's what it was. It wasn't Tim. Maybe it was Tim. T. Hogan. Yeah. Oh, wait, no, not T. Hogan. That's the name of no, that's something else. Never mind. That's the name of a former bar that a company I work for bought out in anyhow. Oh, it is Tim Hogan. Okay, never mind. That stuck in my head. It's been a long darn time. Well, that's good to know he's still in the game. I bet they're really good by now. They were really good back. I mean, they were pretty well put together back then. But you know, printers and everything have gotten better. All right, we have salvaged 4 items out of this. This one's not 100%. Still a little sugary right there. There we go. And this is almost clear. Had a little stickiness right back here. Yep. All right. Pop that over there. Take a look at these pieces. So this was pretty good, except a little there, a little there. That should be pretty quick to clean up. Greetings, Jimbo. Welcome to the stream. I'm here in Philly, and then I know we've got some other folks in Pennsylvania. I think some Indiana, maybe. I know some West Virginia. You might not be alone down there in South Carolina. Depends on the day. So today we're just checking on an unknown box that was in the pile when the ration collection got moved. That was just a personal box of mine with stuff that I'm probably going to end up just giving to the museum for trading fodder or for display, depending on what it is. And some of them just, I know, for instance, this Croatian one I pulled out, like that's the only one, so I'm going to give that to the museum. But the only one that I have so far. But yeah, this was, so the creamers are all dry. Yeah, there's nothing left in there. But they don't seem like they leaked. They seem like they just dried out. So that's interesting. Here's another. So this particular Spanish civilian-made, potentially ration. This one's a 24-hour ration, and these are just ration enhancements. They're all like just off the shelf civilian stuff, and they had these candies in them that, as you can tell, candy's not there anymore. It's migrated, and this particular one had 6 of them. So it's migrated candy is now, you know, all over everything else. Well, not all over, in spots over everything else. So just seeing how feasible it is to get all the candy off of everything and keep the rest of it. And then decide what to do with it later. Finding some turn of the century MREs. Smoky. That should be good. I feel like you were more likely to get those little Twizzler bites around the beginning of Enduring Freedom. Let's see. I'll put that to the side for some reason. Oh, there we go. It's just a little bit more there. We'll start resting this stuff back behind just a little bit. Just because the box itself did have a few dots of candy still on it. The only lemon juice powder that I have is just the packaging, and it was a Doug from Utah Beach packet. So hopefully that's because it got, discarded in a post-capture meal, and not because it fell with whoever was carrying it at the time. Yeah, quite a cart indeed. Like there's I'm trying to make sure I don't mix these two, but we have the manifest or the item list, so we should be fine there. But it's a pretty big collection of food. Kind of reminds me of the Build Your Own Ration contest, or Build Your Own 24-hour ration contest on MRE Info years ago, where everybody was around the world was trying to make their own versions like this. Pretty efficient looking stuff, with whatever they could get locally, so that you got kind of a feel for everybody's regional MRE skills. Because that's still what this feels like, is some well thought out grocery shopping and packaging for long-term storage. But still, these candies, man, I tell you, that's the one. You get one bad decision in a ration, and it can have consequences. At least, I mean, in this case, everything's in these fairly robust plastic, containers and metal containers, and plastic coated stuff. So overall, this isn't ruined. It's just awful to interact with once it gets this bad. B units used to pop up a lot more on eBay. I would still keep an eye out on eBay. Maybe make a saved search. I have a ton of probably Korean War and then Vietnam era B units, but you're never 100% certain what's inside them. I can't speak for what things are like these days. Every now and then you'd find back in the day somebody just selling like 20 of them at a time. Of course, I always thought there'd be so many more, so no need to buy 20 of them at a time. I mean, geez, this guy wants $3 or $4 each, like that's highway robbery. Well, yeah, not anymore. Flea markets in cold places would be a good bet for getting ones that might not be ruined. Flea markets in Mississippi and Florida, and well, actually, I don't know. I guess I can't really discount flea markets in Florida. I know some folks have pretty much found almost everything they ever found there back in the day. Just realized I'm doing that thing where I'm cleaning off camera. It's almost done. This is I think just some staining. There's no, nothing that's sticky there, and nothing that can come off there. Put this over there with these clean pieces, candies off to the side. It's just, now this one's still got about a third of a candy floating in there. This stuff's all clean. Put that over here. This is not. This is another one that seems like, yeah, it's got just a little left. Kind of like a little concave chunk of what was the candy. That's another little chunk. This one's almost all there, for whatever reason. That one's almost entirely there. Alright, so I've had 4 of these chocolate bars. Let's see if I can get everything else out of here. Put the box aside for now. Jimbo, are you saying it's $9.81 per MRE now to pick them up in the PX? That seems like a good chunk. I swear they used to be like $4. Like not too long ago. I mean, maybe 2000, 2005. But, oh God, who was it? Smokey, you might know. Somebody kept going back to their PX and picking up more and more yellow HDRs. They'd go back and there'd just be another one on the shelf. They'd pick it up for like $6 and go back and a week or two and there'd be another one and they'd pick it up. I mean, these days, I don't know how many there might be in the whole world that are sealed. I don't have a sealed one. I have the one that Steve 1989 MRE Info reviewed a while back. He sent the outer case and the empty packets from the inside for the museum. But I can't imagine how many of those are out in existence at this point, because they were only produced for a short time in the first place, and then, you know, thanks to their history, there's pretty big push to just pretend they never happened. Yeah, I mean, it's that kind of, it's like you always want a good deal on rations, but when it comes to most of the main stuff, a good deal means there was just a natural disaster or a major earthquake or something like that usually. So I try not to hope too often for good prices on that stuff, because it tends to mean something bad's happening somewhere in the world and we need to make a bunch more. Like Katrina was a big dump of all the stores into civilian hands. I mean, like all the ration stores in the country into civilian hands. That really changed things for a while. And then there was the tsunami in 2008, 2009, somewhere in there. I want to say it was 2008 tsunami. I can't recall. The huge, death toll and damage done by that. The U.S. ramped up production and sent a lot of surplus over. Then for a while after that, there was a ton of surplus showing up. So this one's got under the label on both sides. Hard to tell there. You can almost see the green of the candy. Just going to try and pop this whole thing back because it's just candy all the way through. I mean, and these are probably pretty stale. They're not by any means, environmentally separated. That there's a tiny, tiny layer of plastic cellophane. These are about as properly packaged crackers as you'll find in a K ration. This one's falling apart, actually, as I'm trying to work with it. Gonna need more damp paper towel at some point. This set has done its job. How safe are brown bags? Well, so you're talking about a pre-1993, or is it 1996? 1996 is when what? 1996 is when the cases started to go beyond 12 meals. But 1993 was the point at which we went tan. Does anybody remember? Depends on how it was stored. Look out for bulging, for sure. I know some of them that have been stored in like chest freezers come out better than new ones. But it's from 1980. Okay, so that's as old as they could possibly get, really. Are you sure it's not a 1990? Are you basing it as a 1980 based on like a 0 and the start of the date code? Double check the menus on mreinfo.com. Well, never mind. You might know. You might know more than I'm giving you credit for. But I mean, that's about as far back as they go, or that is as far back as they go. So, and I don't think they were officially produced until 82. Oh, 1990. Okay. Yeah. Well, still. I mean, that's a 30-year-old meal. Be super careful about the cheese. If there's cheese in there, peanut butter and jelly stuff probably fine. Peanut butter it's very hard to make peanut butter go bad if it can. Crackers might taste a little bleachy. Candy's probably going to be the best part of it. The grape drink or whatever drink you get will probably be a brick. Yeah, cheese is usually pretty dodgy, but I've eaten it back to 1984. So, and that was like 2-3 years ago. Wait, no, that was like 4 years ago. So probably about the same age as the cheese you'll be opening is now, almost. How do you powder it back up again? I'm not sure what you mean by powder it back up again. I'll check in a second. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some of these damp. Keep going. We almost got this clean. Oh, the drink mix. Smash it. Smash it real good. 95 was the last brown bag. So 96, okay, there's a reason that date was in my head. So 96 was the first generation of tan bag MREs. So you can still, potentially get them as recent as 95. Got it. For the old ones. Oh, I'm a big fan of the vegetable and cheese omelet that they discontinued in I think 2008 was its last year. Jimbo, yeah, I liked the egg breakfast stuff. Now the only scrambled eggs that I know you can get are the LRP MCW ones, and they're really good. I mean, they were always way better than the omelets, just because you can't really beat Mountain House. Yeah, so 96, when they went to 16 menus, it was that confusing, like, you got 1 through 12 in case A, and then you got 8 through 16, or no, you got 6 through 16 in case B, so you got an overlap of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So yeah, those menus 6 through 12 were, I guess, the ones that were more popular at the time, or at least that was the idea. And then they wanted even more variety and even more variety, and bit by bit made it up to the 24 meal structure we know today. And just not bit by bit, just over three generations. I mean, there are 3 years of production. I'm doing it again. This one had quite a bit that didn't want to peel off, so just going back and forth until it's dissolved. $19.80 MCIs are usually the ones you find. I think they produced quite a bit of them that year. It was the end of the production run, but it feels like they were trying to get a ton of them out there for storage. Maybe not sure about the thermostabilizing yet, or I don't know, but I feel like you run into 1980 cases pretty often, or well, at least you used to run into them pretty often. There's been quite a few like 1980 spaghetti and meatballs that didn't look too bad overall. Though I'll admit I've never been brave enough to take a bite of an MCI. I've taken quite a few bites of brown bag MREs going back pretty far. Most recently with a bunch of folks in Doswell 4 years ago, we busted open a couple and we cooked up like a 1987 or 86, somewhere in that range, barbecue meatballs. Those were great. And then we cooked up some spaghetti and something else. We had a couple different ones that 5 or 6 of us at least ate, and none of us got sick that time. So that dice roll went okay. I mean, just remember it like that, you know. Have health insurance, be careful, test small amounts, and you're still rolling the dice, because the human tongue is not some, you know, perfect instrument capable of determining, you know, which microorganisms exist somewhere and how dangerous they are. We are taking risks when you do that stuff. So I'll never straight up encourage anybody to go out and start eating ancient food, but you know, if you're in a safe enough spot in life and you want to take some risks, yeah, it's potentially a little safer than skydiving. I don't know. I don't know the statistics on it. Let's see. High school with a stash of K rations. I mean, let me take a quick visit next door. You won't hear me, but so not K rations, but you know, that's more than likely what your high school had stashed somewhere. There's usually, you know, most municipal buildings in the 60s and 70s and 80s got their fair share of those civil defense biscuits and crackers and candies, and those water and sanitation barrels and all that kind of stuff. Were they were they considering them ready to go foodstuffs for you guys, Jimbo? I mean, I've seen people eat them, but I've never tried myself. Yeah, there's a lot of spaces out there, like, you know, um, old communication shelters and utility shelters and all kinds of stuff in weird places that people have just kind of forgotten about over the years that have that civil defense stuff still in it. A lot of it at this point is going to be in pretty rough shape, pretty rotted and rusted. But you know, if the cans themselves held up, a lot of it's probably fine. I mean, in that other room over there, there's you know, there's 5 or 6 cases, and most of them are complete. 2 of them have a few boxes missing that were, you know, given away or sold or whatever happened to be the case. But at least 3 or 4 of them are 100%, you know, in there, and 1 or 2 have a little exterior rust across all their cans, but the rest are all just shiny golden cans that, I mean, two of the boxes have never even had their cardboard cut back. They're just sitting there, you know, untouched. But I'm sure the crackers inside, you know, the crackers, I don't know, because if they had fat in them, which a lot of the civil defense stuff did, that fat could go rancid and they could be no good. But the ones that are, you know, pretty simplistic, they might be all right. I'd eat certain things from a B unit. I don't know, if I found one that had the lemon powder you're talking about, I'd give it a shot. Wouldn't be too worried about that. It just may not be that good, but I don't think it would kill you. Um, and the cookies and candy stuff that you're going to run into, those are going to be pretty, you know, pretty safe to test in some cases. But you got to be careful about anything where, you know, anaerobic bacteria could have been living for a really long time and having a feast. You know, and they tend to start on meat, but that's not a rule, so anything technically could be harboring something. I've always wanted to find one of those chocolate discs from the Vietnam era that's still good. I have a bunch, so I'm gonna try one or two at some point. But I just found that box. So speaking of just finding, last night after I was moving everything, I found a personal box of just snack stuff that I hadn't seen in a long time. Maybe not even in Bozeman. Just a couple things in there, but one of them was just a brick of 6 or 7 packs of freeze-dried peaches from the brown bag MRE era. I had one last night and I enjoyed it. I haven't had one in a long time. Those things are fantastic. There's nothing wrong with it. And B units, I mean, I wouldn't worry too much about taking away from the historical preservation. We have a lot in this collection, and I'm sure there's going to be more found over the years. So by all means, try and. Sorry, I got to be careful about encouraging people to eat things on this channel. But, it seems like a fun adventure. Again, just make sure you have health insurance and you have somebody keeping an eye on you for a few days after you eat that. There's just this little bit in this corner here that I can't get. I think I'm going to call it good. But the packet itself isn't sticky, and we can move on. This one was the one that didn't even get anything on it, so perfect. Let me dry this one. Green tea with mint. That one looks nice. This one's got a few drips of candy. I'll be honest, it doesn't feel like we found enough candy mixed between all this. I'm still expecting there to be a brick of it somewhere. Oh, who the heck was I just talking to? They bought, it was my buddy Chris. Went camping last weekend and stopped at Cabela's and bought MRE pizza at a Cabela's. Like just the civilian pizza itself. He didn't have the package anymore, but I'd be very surprised if it wasn't like a Bridgeford Foods, like civilian package. You're saying it's awful? You gotta try it. They went through so many revisions that weren't okay. This is the one that supposedly is, so I gotta have it at some point. I don't know, maybe. Oops. Oh, that was a soda. Let's see. I was gonna say maybe being on this diet for a year, by the time I try an MRE pizza, it'll be palatable to me. Because at this point, I get pretty enticed by just about anything food-wise. When you find yourself with your mouth watering over an apple or a couple blueberries or something, or even half of these empty packets, like it's hard to keep myself from salivating over them. It's just my brain wants food, but I'm not done with the diet. So Sterling and Bridgeford both ended up making them. Well, that's gotta be interesting. I'm sure there's a difference between them. Um, there always is when those two make something. These are all clear of any slime, except these two. All right. Work on them next. Yeah, the beef ravioli I've had, that was, you know, I've never been a huge fan of, uh, ration pasta. It's just not quite right. But if you compare it to like canned pasta, then it's right on. It's fine. And that's really what it should be compared to. You can't compare this stuff to gourmet home cooking unless it's like Mountain House stuff. Yeah, exactly, Old Smoky. So like if it's a little different than pizza, like if it's a little different than brand new pizza, that's one thing. But if it's still just a little different than brand new pizza in 20 years, that's amazing. And that's what they were going for, with trying to not have everything soak into each other, not have the ingredients like nullify or soak into each other over the storage period. But yeah, if, I'm thinking like the boxed, buy it frozen and cook it yourself pizza. I know some folks in here are from Pennsylvania, so maybe somebody will recognize Nardone's pizza from like the Wilkes-Barre Scranton area. But if it's as good as Nardone's reheated the second day after you bake it yourself, then it'll be, which is not as good as original, but if it's as good as the second day, then I'll consider it a massive success. If it tastes like pizza, I'll consider it a massive success. It doesn't have to taste like, the best damn pizza I've ever had. It just has to survive, the test of time and be pizza. I mean, before that, you'd have to take, wheat snack bread, some cheese spread, and the leftover marinara from, somebody else's meatballs marinara. Or your own. I mean, I guess it could be your own. One of Jay's favorite. Oh, are you talking about Nardone's, Aletha? I was visiting my sister in Virginia about a year ago when I saw one of their trucks, and it blew my mind. It was that far from home, but it makes sense because she lives right off of Route 81. So I assume they just made a distribution network that takes their trucks right up and down Route 81, and distributes like just off of there. Ooh, look at all that. There's a lot of that candy still. I don't know how savable this box is going to be. We've got candy in the cracks. That's where it's hiding. It's like inside the outer cardboard layer. It's like made its way in there. see if we can get some of it off without wrecking the box, but I'm not holding out too much hope. I may just paper towel coat the inside here. Beverage base orange. There's nothing else like it. There's no other orange drink exactly like beverage base orange. Gotta say. Orange and grape. They're my two favorites. I never was a giant fan of the beverage base cherry. Has anybody had the Chipotle bread? I snagged, I took one out of a ration and put it in the museum's collection just to have one of that package at all. But I didn't actually eat it, so I haven't given it a shot. I mean, it's pretty much just jalapeno bread, but smoked jalapeno or whatever. Oh, I've got a can of that grape drink from the UGR somewhere outside of a UGR, and then another one inside of a UGR. But somewhere, yeah, I have a can of that powdered grape drink. That kind of stuff I'm kind of hoping to save for like a meetup someday, so that we can try one of those things that will be consumable by 20 people, a little bit each or whatever. Just hate the idea of like opening one of those, having a cup of it, and either trying to reseal the rest of it and put it back, or letting it go to waste. That I couldn't abide by. And there is still candy coming off of this, but this box is going through a bit as a result. Let's see. Most of the stuff in the museum collection and my collection was stored around 65 for the last 4 years, and then around that before that, but you never know. And there were definitely periods where cooling wasn't working or whatever, and it's gotten up there in heat. These candies, though, the way everything's looking in the box, I've just got the idea that they were just in motion the whole time. Kind of like how glass is technically a liquid. Like most like old school glass windows are technically moving, just at a very, very slow rate. Now let's see. If I open this and it's just candy, then I don't know if we can save anything. I was almost unable to take the tab out. Yeah, that's going to be just candy in there. Alright, so you can see I'm trying to get this open where it's folded in. See how bad the candy is behind that. Alright, just a little up at the top. Okay. that's neat. Just mailer boxes is all these are packed in. Mailer boxes with their own labels. I think this is MRE Nation. Like early. Or not Nation, Mountain. MRE Mountain. I mean, yeah, definitely not Nation. Strawberry dairy shakes, just be careful. There was a recall. I think most years are good, but I want to say 2007 is not. You do not want to take that's a risk I just would not take. If you got a 2007 dairy shake, double check the old Quartermaster Core Bulletin on it, but yeah, I want to say it was 07 that they were recalled. Yeah, this is just candy inside there. That's just not gonna get cleaned. Overall, this box is better, but not, not by any means perfect anymore. But as far as the outside goes, pretty good. Still way too much stickiness up here to put things back in. Alright, feeling a little better about that. Should be able to put most of this stuff back. We still didn't do these chocolate bars over here though. So let me move that. Salmonella. Yep, okay, that's what it was. Those things are really interesting though, those dairy shakes. They, I mean, for what they are, for a shelf-stable powdered milkshake. You know what I've never done is mix one up and put it in the freezer and see what happens. Has anybody done that? Smokey, have you ever tried actually freezing one of those things? Or, chilling it down to where it thickens up even further? I wonder if they get anything like a Frosty. Oh, I knew that would happen. I inadvertently tossed this can of Diet Coke across the room earlier today, even though it's been sitting for quite a while. Yeah, still went. Glad to be back here, by the way. It's been, like I said, it's been a trying couple weeks. And I know this is pretty random and informal for our weekly get together, but I hope you guys are having fun. I know I am. Just seeing what the heck was in here, and even though this isn't something of great historic value that we're cleaning up, it's it's a good exercise. Just practicing cleaning things and trying not to damage rations, and especially on something that's not necessarily of great importance. There's no pressure. Just see how clean we can get this. I'll be right back. Hmm. Wait, what are you guys talking about? I'll be honest, I can't follow. Looms? Like weaving looms? Oh, worth a look, I'm sure you were saying. Got it. Got it. Never mind. Um, let's see. I'm now cleaning one of these little chocolate bars. This if somebody could go to Google Translator, if anybody knows, what does the galeta, or I'm not sure, galleta, if that would be, no, that would have, I don't know. But does anybody know what that means? Because there's the crackers have that on there. You know, pan geletta or galeta or galleta or whatever. Um, pan being bread, but chocolate bar having it, that's got me intrigued. There's candy crammed in here. I'm going to clean that without it actually opening up into the chocolate. There we go, there's a piece. Go. Our clean collection's getting pretty big over here. Oops, hey, you guys stay back. See, they're all already just bleeding out onto the table. You know, they're just in a state of motion. It's clean. It's clean. This one is not. This one's got a little bit on it. These little bars remind me of the Russian special forces ration, um, that mountain ration from a couple of years back that I tried. That came with 5 of the little dark chocolate bars. Oh, they were really good. I don't think they'd hold up though. They were starting to bloom, and they were still well within date when I ate them. Bloom is just a thing when chocolate, when the sugars inside the chocolate separate and want to rise to the surface. So they think, it's called blooming because I guess it's a similar action to like a flower blooming somehow, maybe, I guess. But when I used to work at Godiva, we had to explain that all the time, and it was generally something that better chocolate, like better quality chocolate, would do because it didn't have as many or any like emulsifiers or things in it that would try and just keep things uniform and prevent that sort of thing, but have an effect on the taste. So let's see. We've almost got this returned to a workable state without the candies. And this one probably good. Got a little candy on it. So we cleaned some of these, but this one definitely has Oh, wait, no, it doesn't. That's part of the label. All right. Oh, nope. Almost. The pasta and tuna still got quite a bit. Yeah, there you go. There you can see. So, just gonna rub that as well until it dissolves. Well, good seeing you again, Jeremiah. Have a good rest of your night, and I'm sure I'll see you in the chat over in Old Smoky's stream. I'll be trying to go get a bunch of stuff from my last apartment and then stop by like a Walmart or a Target or something before I go home. I just need to get some fly paper and some waste baskets and stuff for the new place. Fly paper, definitely a must. While I was moving in over the last week, there were quite a few hours of the door just being wide open. And yeah, last night was my first night sleeping there, and it was interesting how many flies had made their way inside. So definitely got to handle that. I mean, I'm not joking when I say well over 100, if not well over 200 flies in that house. It's insane. All right. All right. No stickiness. Still stickiness right there. Almost done though. All right. These supposed to go this way. There we go. And bled over onto the menu. Let's see. Get that a little bit off there. All right. Successfully saved for now. Not sure what the next step will be for this one, but I'm going to get a special box for these Spanish ones. Alright, let's get this temporary label. Unless I find out otherwise, I'm labeling these as civilian production. It probably had some contract with the military, but certainly seemed like off-the-shelf stuff with no real. I mean, like even, like you open up the. Well, we don't have to. We don't have to guess. I have one right here. So you open up one of these, Hey, come back. What are you doing? Just realized this camera was falling behind. Alright. Not sure what that was all about, but it's back. So, what I was saying was one of these, pretty much shows exactly what I'm talking about. The packages themselves are a little better than off-the-shelf cellophane, and they're labeled for the armed forces specifically. Everything, from the vitamin C powder to the hand sanitizer. Disinfectant instant for hands. Toothpaste. A lot of vitamin C powder. Yeah, this must have just been a box where I was storing little extra bits. These ration matches, I believe, came from South Africa. They look exactly like ours, minus any writing. I just like storing various sundries, but the point was just, the actual Spanish military stuff. They're one of those countries where every single thing, right down to the toothpaste, is going to say official, military, product, in one way, shape, or form. So, that there's literally nothing marked that way in the one we just looked at makes me pretty certain it's just some civilian company that probably had a contract to produce a bunch of those for some particular branch of service or something. So we'll put this one in here for now. Let's see. What? Oh, we never finished emptying the box. We had one more police, I want to say. Emercom. One of the big old Emercoms. This one is 2015 production, 2016 Best Buy. So let's see. Oh shoot, it's 7 o'clock. Let's see how bad this one is before I call it. This was the first one we had opened. Okay. So, looks like most of the candy settled down on one side. This is clean. This is clean. This is not. This is clean. Nope. Nope. No, it is not. Hey, here's some more of that. So this stuff almost certainly had to have leaked somewhere along the line, but no sign of it externally, which is interesting. But maybe just slight, maybe just enough air got in that it could dry out over time without leaking. But both of these are, bone dry inside, as were the 4 in the other package. All right, so here's the other bits of this one, including that sugar packet that I had inadvertently opened. Let's see. So this one is still mostly a candy and still no, it's soft. I was going to say still mostly hard. Oh, there's another sugar packet, but it's busted. This whole section, I'm going to take this cardboard backer off the box, I think, and just get rid of it. It's just busted up and mostly candy at this point. There's no cleaning that. But it's lucky, because everything in that ration had essentially stayed above where the candy coagulated. And it looks like it started out pretty low down in the box in the first place and just stayed there in one big spread out heap. So, with that chunk removed, let's see what we can get cleaned up. This and this, they're good. There's about 7,000 MREs for sale. Wait, what? What are you talking about, Gunner? If somebody's selling 7,000 MREs for $3,000 total, send me a link. I'll find a loading dock somewhere on this building. Only a little bit that has to get cleaned up in there so that it doesn't stick to anything new. And then this back corner is pretty rough. Definitely intrigued, Gunner. What were you talking about there? 7,000 MREs. Who's got 7,000 for sale? Alright, that's no longer sticky. That'll dry out. So, let's see. We've got clean, dry crackers can go in. Put them in the back there. We've got this. This is not clean and dry yet. This needs a little cleanup. Maybe I'm behind chat. Let me refresh that just in case. Nope, still the same mystery. That's clean. Those are clean. Oh, nope. See, I keep doing that. I keep saying, yeah, that's clean. As I put it in, there's like great big globs of stuff on it. So careful, Sean. So we're trying to beat the time of the first one, which was about 1 hour and 35 minutes to clean. The second one, we should be done in about 5 minutes. Don't know how they were that far apart. Maybe just throwing away a chunk of the box was a good start, but there we go. That's clean. This needed a little bit. This, one of the corners was sticky. There we go. Cola cow. I wonder if there's anything different about this, like if this is caffeinated or something. You know, like Coca-Cola, like the chocolate and cola nut. Well, can't really just put that back. I'll put that back. Part of it. Just like I'm going to try and clean up some of these label or candy labels and put them amongst these. Clean. Nope. So I had opened the one that was much, much lighter than the other one. And it looks like it only had supplemental stuff in it. Just crackers and candy and cocoa and that sort of thing. So I'll seal this back up for the moment. Try and get the candy off the edge of this. Off the edge of the label. Not completely ruining it, but it's already discolored. A little water damage. Still so much candy right there. It's holding up a lot better than the paper is. I'm just going to go ahead and put it inside out. That's the solution there. So there we go. That one's salvaged. That's the less than great color. I'm going to put it on top. And this is, let's see, unopened but not showing external signs of leaking. But if it's got that candy, I'm sure it's leaking in there. So let's give it one quick look and then we'll probably wrap up the stream for this week. Now, I know it wasn't very super duper informative this time around, but just wanted to get back in here and get back into the habit of doing the stream after a couple weeks off. You know, the move is still ongoing and it's still all of my time, but outside of work, I mean, which is most of my time. But it is coming to a close, so I'll be back to normal schedule very soon. I hope another couple weeks of post-move reorganizing and actually taking stuff out of boxes. All right, let's see. Hey, and look, this one doesn't have any of these candies in it, and everything in it is 100% normal. It's all just loose and dry and regular, ready to go. Like, look at that, just comes right out. So this was the cold weather one. So the cold weather one didn't come with the frigid climate one, so it doesn't come with the hard candies. Interesting. So they packaged them in the hot weather one, and they packaged them in the Special Forces 24-hour one. The self-appointed Special Forces one. Abondigas, meatballs. Ooh. These actually look fantastic. And I've been saying this word to myself, walking around my house over the last few days. So that's funny. Maize dolce, creamed corn. Another little pate, like in the bigger one. And this one has peach jam, 2 chocolate bars, darn it. Well, there's a magic trick. I knew I screwed up on this other one. I dropped that. This had this one. There we go. Yeah, 2 in this one. The cane sugar is, settled, but it's still very good shape. Breaks up pretty quick. There was nothing wrong with the bit that I tried over there. And then the tea, coffee, and a menu that's not covered in candy. That pretty much just says everything we just saw. 1 can of beef meatballs, 1 can of natural corn. That's creamed corn. 1 can of pate, 2 tablets of milk chocolate, and cookies. So I wonder, because that's what they say on the menu in all of them, maybe the Bulletin part is like cracker. So like chocolate covered cracker, kind of like a Kit Kat. Maybe those are like Kit Kats. Ooh, that would be neat. 2 tabs of jam, 1 pack of crackers and biscuits. Or I mean 2 packs of cracker biscuits, 2 packets of sugar candy. Cane sugar is what that should mean. 1 sachet of soluble coffee, and 1 tea infusion, 1 information note. Yep, okay, so that one is perfect. Open, but nothing wrong with it, so just gonna do that. So we say Spanish civilian production, X 24-hour special forces, 1X. Right, my one's pretty weird there. Supplement, cold weather, supplement, well, actually, they're both cold weather. Interesting. Why that one had meatballs and pate and everything, and the other one just seemed lacking. Let's see if I took something out, maybe. So this one had 2 tablets milk chocolate, 1 package of grain, wheat, and rice. So this had, instead of like a whole meal, this had this. 2 things of jam, 2 things of cream, soluble chocolate. So that was in here that wasn't in the other one. Two packs of crackers, 6 candies, strawberry, 2 packs of sugar cane, 1 sachet of coffee, 1 thing of tea. So, yeah, this one, instead of, so in this one, you had the meatballs, the pate, and the corn. In this one, you had cocoa and some cookies. Yeah, I would much rather have gotten meatballs and corn and all that, I think, as a supplement. Maybe they complement different specific base meals, I'm not sure. Definitely going to want to find some more info on these before I just casually try to eat them. But for now, call them storable. So I think I'm going to wrap up here and try and get some stuff from my house from my old house and get over to the new house. I don't think I'll be in time for the start of your stream, but I'll try and catch as much as I can, Smokey. I hopefully will have internet when I get there, so we'll see. I just got to bring my router over. Well, thanks, Aletha. I appreciate it. Yeah, hopefully can get back into the swing of things here pretty soon. I got to build all the new shelves that showed up so that we can get the boxes, some of the boxes from the last stream and some of these boxes from this week and next week racked up, and overall we're looking pretty good. And then, like I said at the beginning of the stream, I got something exciting that I can't wait to share with you guys. I'm just going to wait till it's physically in my hands before I share it, because you never know. All right, but thanks for tuning in for bulletin number 9. This was a lot of fun, you know, just seeing what was in there. Of course, there's just more Russian stuff hiding, but you know, still haven't found that Saudi Arabian ration. So really hoping I stumble across that sooner or later. That one, probably one of the only ones from Desert Storm that anybody thought to bring back to the States. So, and they didn't make a ton of them over in Saudi Arabia in the first place. They were mainly eating NATO rations and that sort of, and UN, or not NATO rations, UN rations and that sort of stuff at the time. So, looking forward to next week. Oh, hey G Schultz, welcome, goodbye, sorry. I'll see you over in Smokies in an hour probably, but yeah, thanks again everybody, and we'll get back into the every week starting right now. So I'll see you guys next weekend, and look forward to whatever we're going to be digging through. So thanks again for coming out, and have a great rest of your night.